coming up. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
Welcome back to another episode of Mildly Offensive TV. We have a very special guest with us this evening, Miss Cynthia Ehirim, holistic practitioner of medicine.
No.
Okay, that was me trying to be smart.
With nature.
Nature,
yeah.
There you go, nature. So the few things you want to tell the people about yourself and what it is that you do?
Yes, my name is Cynthia, and I specialize in detox therapy. So, cleaning out the body. I'm also an iridologist, and that is the ancient technique of being able to look into the eyes and know what's going on in the body in real time.
Okay.
So that was used around the entire globe before we had the machine, you know, that now can detect issues in the body. So before, we have tons of connections. Every organ is connected in the eyes. So you're able to see what's going on in a person's body in real time.
By viewing them through the eyes. So is that, I remember used to always be, what do they say, the eyes are the window to the soul. So is it kind of...
Yeah, that correlates.
Kind of correlates a little bit?
Majorly correlates, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So you said you're a holistic practitioner, right? So what exactly is the holistic approach to...
So, when we approach something holistically, we don't just focus on a particular issue, right? We focus on the mind, the body, and the spirit.
Oh, okay.
The entire person is what we're working on to upgrade.
Okay.
So it's not just the body. We realize that everything works together. So we don't separate these things, which has been something we've done as a set of people for a long time. And we want to change that. So the holistic approach is coming at something entirely, you know, dealing with the entire person.
So not just like the physical ailment of what's stressing you or what's bothering you, not just what's wrong with the body, but mentally, physically, emotionally,
spiritually.
Okay, okay. So how does that differ from, I know some innate differences, but how does that really differ from what it is that Western medicine says?
Western medicine is considered allopathic medicine.
Okay.
What we're dealing with is naturopathic medicine.
Because we're, you know, some of us only have third grade education. So what is allopathic?
That's Western medicine.
Okay,
and that's just dealing with the medicines that we all know today. Naturopathic is herbs. We deal with nature.
Okay.
You know, in its natural form and in its holistic form. So when it comes to Western medicine, when there's an issue, they just focus on that issue, right? And what we want to do is get to the core of problems. When we get to those cores, we solve things from a core so that, because if you have a headache is a signal, right? There's something is wrong in the body. So if you just take Tylenol for the headache, which basically cuts the connection between your mind and that problem, that doesn't solve the problem, right? So when it comes to naturopathic approaches, what we want to do is we want to get to the core, solve the problem, no headache.
So let me ask you this, because I know the medicine industry, they use, you know, the medicines that they make are made of a lot of these, probably most of the time, a lot of the herbs and minerals and whatnot. So why not just give it to us in the natural form as opposed to processing it and bringing it to the people like that? Why? What is that about?
When you give it to people in the holistic form, the problem leaves. So when there's no more problem,
no more money.
There's no more money.
I got you.
You know, so if I give you a little bit, you keep coming back to me year after year after year after year after year for the rest of your life.
Greedy bastards.
You know, one of the sayings in naturopathic medicine is you lose your clients because they get better.
Wow. Ooh,
you know, they get better. The whole idea is you're supposed to be healed. You know, there's so many people to heal in this world that you can't worry about money. You know, when it comes to trying to do the right thing.
Now, how do you balance that? Because, you know, like, I know what I'd probably be, you know, I'd whip up something for them and then probably spin it or something just to kind of keep them coming back. So how do you balance that? You know, as far as, like you said, you want them to get better, but, you know, you have a business to run too.
Okay, well, see, that has to do with a mindset. If thinking that you need to do something to keep money coming into your pocket, especially doing something that doesn't serve us as a whole, that's not good, right? That's not right too. That's a state mindset of lack. And fear.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right?
No doubt.
So this is just a circle of hurt. And it has to be cut off because, first of all, I don't have a mindset of lack and fear. Like I said, there's so many people. There are millions of us. So if I help you and you're okay, what are you going to do?
Tell the next man.
You're going to tell the next man. And they're going to tell the next man. At the end of the day...
I'm going to be back, though, because it worked, man.
Well, yeah, you know, the idea at the end of the day is not just for you to take something that helps you, but it's for you to become educated and eventually be your own doctor. You know? Because you have a generation to continue. And you don't want to just, you take care of you, then your kids, and then your grandkids. No, you eventually learn what you need to learn so that you can help your own generation. So we all want to create a world where we can become self-reliant.
Okay. Well, let me ask you, so how, like, holistically then, how does that, you know, I get the fact that, you know, it's a different approach to your health, but how does that, you know, increase my overall health, like, from a holistic standpoint, like, versus medicine and getting a prescription and, you know, oh, my headache went away, you know, because those are tangible things that people can, you know, touch, taste, you know, see, feel. So from a holistic perspective, how does that help me? Trying to find the words. Basically, how does that benefit me in the long run, in the long term, like as far as life, living life?
Yeah. So you live the kind of life where you have a full amount of energy. At the end of the day, this is about blood and your DNA. Okay. So when your DNA is enriched, when your blood is enriched, when your body is operating right, when your mind is operating right, it affects your DNA. And that affects the kind of kids you have. You literally are changing your future. Your future generation, I mean, the
choices that you
everything make. Changes. Because you're not alive, you haven't been created tomorrow yet. You're creating yourself day by day, minute by minute. Your DNA is literally forming itself by the minute. So because you don't exist tomorrow yet, the choices you make today completely affects your tomorrow. So if you begin to live a more holistic lifestyle, you're going to not only live longer, if you want to live longer. Not everybody cares to live long. That's true. Right? But even if you want to live a short life, you still want to live a healthy, quality short life. Right? I had a friend of mine say, well, she don't care about living long if she lives, you know. But I was like, well, you also don't want to now get to a stage where you have tubes sticking out of your body. You need somebody to help you use the restroom. You need, you know, that's not fun.
To me, pass me the pistol on that. I can't live like that. But so, as far as, you know, living, like you said, not necessarily living a long life, but a quality life.
Right.
There were like in the ancient world, they kind of believed in that, and you can see remnants of that with certain warrior classes of people even today, like the Japanese during Pearl Harbor when they actually crashed there. They ran out of bullets and just started crashing their planes into damn, you know, boats and ships and whatnot. And you know, that's they call it kamikaze, but what that really means is, yeah, I want to live and I have a family, but I'm not afraid of death. Like how you talked about that circle of fear. Because at the end of the day, we do all die. We all are going to perish. You know what I'm saying? So.
But enjoy your life.
Absolutely.
You know, especially when you have the opportunity to choose better for yourself. Why not do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you can have fun in this life, if you can be happy, if you can experience love, if you can experience the good things that are available, why not do that?
No doubt. No doubt.
You know, why not create your own heaven here?
Yeah, that's good. I like that, because they always talk about a pie in the sky, and after you die, you can have it all right here, right?
Which is so. You know, like, you know that cartoon, I don't know if it was Tom and Jerry, one of these old school cartoons.
One of my favorite cartoons,
right?
Tom and Jerry, boy, Jerry Mouse.
Yeah. Was it the dog that they would put that, like, they would tie the hot dog in, like, around it, so you're constantly chasing.
Like right in front of his head.
Run in front of his head, and
yeah.
you know, you're constantly chasing, but you never get it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's the idea that there's something there after you die. That's when you get to enjoy.
Suffer now.
Which is, you know, that's such a delusion.
Yeah.
Because you're being told.
Yeah.
Told.
See, that's that leadership, though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You were born. You came here.
Work for me and die.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You came from somewhere,
mm-hmm.
and you have every right to be here. So why allow another person to tell you that you shouldn't enjoy this space when they didn't even create you to bring you here in the first place?
Mm-hmm. And furthermore, they're enjoying their space. You know, they living their life to the fullest.
Right.
You know, and they standing on top of your head. So, yeah. Okay, let me ask you, Miss Cynthia. So, what are some of the examples of things that you've seen in people that, you know, they've come to you and they either can't find the answer in traditional or Western medicine, or just like, what are the things that you treat? What do you see a lot?
A lot of people are dealing with gut issues.
Okay.
So your gut is your first brain.
So you're trying to call me fat now, huh?
No.
I got you. That's
not.
cool. I know you're this way. That's fine.
Once your gut starts sticking out, it's a major problem, because
So I'm dying.
No, you're not dying, but you're not living your best life.
Okay.
You know, that you could be living. Just like when you start getting things show up on your skin.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the last step of your body trying to say, hey, you know, since you can't see what's going on internally, right?
Yeah.
It finds a way to show you what's going on. So when you when your gut isn't right, which is the biggest issue a lot of people have. I've had people come in with irritable bowel syndrome, taken care of. I've had people that had lupus.
And what exactly lupus is? Is that a skin disease, or what is that?
It shows up as a skin disease, but it starts internally. So your immune system is is a mess, in layman's term, right?
That's where your immune system attacks
Yes.
your own body. Is that what that is?
So the thing is, if you don't clean your gut first, your first brain. If you don't clean your gut, if you don't flush your system out. Remember, we have 10, 20, 30, 40 years of feces sitting in our stomach, right? So most of the time people come with, whatever your issue is, your dis-ease, your body is in dis-ease, right? It's not working properly. So whatever, if you call it lupus, AIDS, cancer, it doesn't matter what the thing is that you're dealing with. They all stem from a core issue, right? Which is a system that needs flushing first, and secondly, an immune system. Your immune and your blood is not operating the way it's built and designed to operate. Your immune system has been compromised. Okay? So when your immune system is blocked, when your blood is blocked, most of the time, a lot of people, they think they have kidney failure, and they end up trying to change their kidneys or get a new kidney. At the end of the day, it really is a blockage. Blood isn't flowing properly into the kidney. So
really,
yes.
So it's not that the kidney doesn't work anymore.
Yes.
It's that the blood flowing to the kidney.
Yes. We have a system. This body is a system.
Yeah.
We don't question systems when we work with the computer.
Interesting. Yeah.
Or our car.
No doubt.
Right? So a system has to flow. If it's a computer, it has electricity that's flowing through it. If you cut the wire, or if there's something in the wire, right, it's not going to work. The energy won't flow properly. So all of our organs are attached to some sort of system that allows it to flow, that has flow heading to it. So you have the blood, you have all your organs are connected, you have blood that goes through all your organs. Yeah. Your lymphatic system is actually, which is also the immune system, right? We have more of a lymphatic system than we actually have of the blood.
Okay. Really? Okay.
Yes. So the importance of actually making sure that you have proper flow. So when there's blockages, when blood isn't flowing properly to your heart, you get a heart attack.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that would cause a blockage in your?
Okay, there we go. There's so many things. Where do we start? Okay, so if we're talking about the lymphatic system, for instance, this is where nutrition comes in.
And lymphatic, I know, I'm not.
Those are your lymph nodes.
That's the shit that, okay, like when you get flu, all of it swells up and gets nasty looking. And
so your lymphatic system, your immune system, this is where your white blood cells come in, right? So this is also where nutrition comes in. This is why they say you are what you eat. It is a literal statement. It's not a fanatical thing, right? This is literal. When you put in things into your body that your body is not built to break down, it will block your system.
So it just kind of backs up.
Yes. For instance, if I had a live plant sitting here, right, and I poured Coke in it, it's going to die in a few days.
From Coca-Cola?
Right? Absolutely. Tell me how a live plant is not built. It doesn't have a system that is built to digest Coke or alcohol. For instance, if I was to pour alcohol in my plant every day, it's not, you know it's going to start turning brown and die.
I thought it would just turn up.
It's going to die. A little bit till it's dead, you know? But it's built for water. And then imagine if you not just put, let's say you put, there's experiments where you put tap water into a plant. Yeah. It grows. Then there's experiments where you put alkaline water.
Oh, alkaline. So I've heard about this, alkaline water.
Yes.
Okay. So
and what happens? The plant grows faster. You know, it's in a healthier state. These are all experiments that have been done to prove that. And we are like a plant. We are a living entity, right? And the thing is, what you have going on in your mind is one thing, and then this body is another thing, right? So we need to treat our bodies how we treat any of the things that we love and appreciate. You need to give the body what the body needs. Yeah. It's not personal.
So are these gut issues and these blockages, is this shit reversible?
Absolutely.
Is this something, okay.
Absolutely, absolutely 100% reversible. Okay. Especially if you have the motivation, the discipline to do it.
Well, I think
the desire.
You know what I'm saying? I know if it was like, hey man, stop eating cheeseburgers or die.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably keep it. I love cheeseburgers.
Really?
I love them.
Oh. That's a challenge.
You might have to come get me in time.
That's a challenge. That's a challenge.
I'm out of there on the cheeseburger.
Because of the hormones that are put into the cheese. So, like I said, there's so many aspects to the things that we put into our bodies.
So say if a person like me, and I don't eat cheeseburgers every day. I'm kind of exaggerating. Right. But if a person eats meat every day, what would, like, and they come to you, what are you seeing? Like when you help them, like you said, when you flush their body, what is it that comes out of their body?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's talk about parasites.
Okay.
Parasites have been around for millions of years.
Parasites.
Yes, and the nature. A tick is not particularly a parasite.
Okay.
Parasites look like worms. There's all types of
like tapeworms. Okay, yeah.
You have tapeworms, you have roundworms, there's all types of parasites in our system. And parasites are not bacteria. A lot of people think, oh, we need bacteria. Of course, we're made up of bacteria. Yeah. We don't need parasites in our system. Okay. So parasites, their nature is to control their host. That is what a parasite's nature is. Doesn't make them good or bad. It's relative. right? Depending on where you're coming from. So if I have parasites in my system, absolutely I don't want that in my system because they're controlling my thoughts to eat particular things that the body does not need. Now, remember the example of the plant, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm a plant, if I'm a living entity, and I'm putting things into my body that my body doesn't actually desire, who and what is making me put these things into my body?
The parasite.
Now, what parasites are natural processors. What they do is they process junk. You know, it goes in one end, it comes out the other.
Yeah.
And, I mean, what is more toxic than the feces of a parasite?
Oh.
I mean,
So
remember
they
they
shit
process
inside
it.
it?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
absolutely. That's part of why we smell. That's BO, all of that.
Damn.
That's
Okay.
Yeah, it's disgusting. So,
Yeah.
these parasites, they're the ones who, so this is the irony about this, the circle of hurt that works with parasites. If you didn't have parasites in your system and you were to eat a cheeseburger, let's say you go to McDonald's or wherever and you get a cheeseburger, you would break down. You would get sick. So when you have the parasite, because your body is not built, your body will consider it a foreign object.
Consider that shit death or something.
Yes, because it has no correlation with what you're putting into it. The body wants living, natural things just like anything in nature does. Just like plants. It needs sun, it needs phytonutrients, it needs good water.
Not that pink paste.
Very basic.
McDonald's hamburger.
Yeah,
I
and other stuff that's in there, right?
you.
And the chemicals. So it's because once it considers, once a foreign object is going down into the body, it immediately, what does it do? Produce mucus to protect the organs. Mucus is like a layer. I mean, the body automatically has mucus, but now it has to overproduce the mucus to protect you so that it can keep you alive.
Damn. Because I want to eat a cheeseburger.
Because you want to, and this is the thing, why we don't attack each other. Because this is not exactly your fault, right? You have living entities in your body. These parasites are conscious beings. And what they do is they attach themselves to the inner lining of your intestinal walls, and it sends electromagnetic messages to your brain to eat this now.
That's the cravings.
That's the
cravings. Wow.
12 midnight, 1 a.m., random craving. Your body produces melatonin between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m., so it wants to be sleeping during that time. It does not want to be eating. It doesn't want to be working. You know, it wants to regenerate itself. That's the time when it's trying to rest.
Trying to rebuild.
It's trying to rebuild itself. So the last thing it wants is more work. That's why a lot of people wake up tired. You know, you don't have the proper energy that you need for your day. So back to the parasites. Parasites are one of the least talked about things when it comes to our body and the things that we're dealing with. So we're settling and dealing with so many other things and focusing on that when these parasites are literally living in us. I've had clients that when they go through the proper cleanse that I provide, I have pictures, I mean, of monstrous parasites that come out, because I always encourage them to look in the toilet, be a part of the process.
Oh, so wait, like when you take a dump and you turn around.
I tell them, you know, keep like a stick or a fork you're never going to use.
They're going to jump out the toilet?
No, they're dead at that point.
Oh, okay.
But you would see it. You would literally see there's different types of parasites that'll come out. Their eggs come out, and some of their eggs take 7 years before they become fully grown.
So niggas is pregnant out here with parasites.
Yes, literally. And
how do you? So what do you do to get rid of these parasites? Do you have to change everything how you eat and?
Well, you don't want to feed the problem.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is I always tell my clients, you know, when you this is a journey.
Okay.
When you start.
See when they start talking like that.
When you start the journey, things will happen. The first week, you're going to go through it. You might experience a few days of a real battle. You will know you're in a battle because you will see yourself craving things you've never eaten. You probably don't even, let's say you don't eat ice cream. All of a sudden, you'll be craving ice cream.
So you got different types of parasites?
Absolutely, that eat different kind of things.
Okay.
You have parasites that only eat meat. You have parasites that only eat sugar. You have parasites that only eat bad carbs.
Bastards, boy.
Right? And this is part of why the American diet is a big problem. It feeds the pharmaceutical industry. It works together because that spectrum they put as this is how you should eat feeds the parasites.
The 4 basic food groups, the dairy, the bread, the meat, and I forgot the other one.
Yeah, and then keeping it, you know, what's at the top, what's at the bottom, just like in Canada, they've changed it now.
Oh,
now
really?
they have fruits and vegetables at the top, right?
Okay.
At the top of that pyramid. And what we have, the way we're eating, is feeding the sickness, which in turn makes the pharmaceutical industry rich.
Yeah,
right?
in that paper.
Yeah. Right? So when you are doing that process of cleaning your body, the last thing you want to do is to feed it. And you will see them pushing you to eat things that you don't even need to eat or you don't normally desire to eat.
It's funny because I watch these little nature shows where they talk about, I think it's a wasp that it's some little fly larvae, or fly that lays its larvae in the back of this wasp and basically controls the wasp to get eaten by whatever, by a bird, and then the bird dumps the, takes.
And then you eat the bird.
You see what I'm saying?
And then the parasite gets to you.
And then, but the cycle starts all over again, though. So it's funny, and I remember like watching that, and one of the things that they were saying is that when they lay the larvae that lays that the fly lays in the wasp wouldn't do things to get eaten, until this larvae, sprouts and then, I guess starts sending signals to his brain, and then it does silly
stuff. It controls
shit.
the brain.
Yeah, it does silly stuff, and then the bird eats it, and so on and so forth.
It makes itself seen, which is why they're highly intelligent. Parasites are very, very, very intelligent. Now, when you have so many in your system, they're controlling your thoughts. They cause depression. Why? Because your body is having to deal with things that it's not built to deal with. This is why I said it's a circle of hurt. With the parasites, you eat the cheeseburger, it processes the cheeseburger, but you're dying slowly. Without the parasites, you won't even, your cravings for cheeseburgers would decrease.
So is this related? So let me ask you this then, because you know how sometimes you eat and then you're like hungry a little bit later? So is that because your body isn't even absorbing?
Absolutely not. So
none of the nutrients?
Yeah, it is not, because so at the tips of within the lining of our intestinal walls, we have something we call microvilli. They look like little fingers like this, right? And they have enzymes at their tip, which is what processes the information of the food that you're eating, and it goes through the villi to eventually go into your liver, right? For your liver to process and create blood cells for you.
Okay.
Now, these villi, they're meant to stick up like this so they can absorb nutrients. When you have crap stuck on the side of your intestinal walls,
like doo-doo.
Yes. Right? The villi end up going like this. So what happens, you're not absorbing the nutrients you're supposed to be absorbing, and you end up just feeding colonies of parasites. You're literally just the host.
Colonies of them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're colonies. You know, you have a whole microbiome genome going on in there. Like you have an entire world in your gut.
Are there any good parasites or no?
There are no good parasites.
Okay. Well, let me ask you another question. And this kind of feeds into what you was. How does diet then affect, your health and how you, I guess, respond? The whole parasite thing. How does diet factor into that? I know you said cheeseburgers, but what else? Is it coffee? Is it anything that we consume there's a parasite for?
No, not everything we consume there's a parasite for, but there is a saying that says your diet is your deity. Your diet is your God. What you put in your body is literally what you become.
You are what you eat.
You are what you eat. And that is a literal process.
Yeah.
Because the food you eat eventually becomes the blood in your body. And your blood the blood cells are the only cells in the body that doesn't have a nucleus, which means it can become anything your body needs it to become and anything you think it to become. That's another line right there. So it's important that you realize that when you're eating things, now remember, the first thing is to know what the body needs. The body is a living entity. Living entities love living foods, love vegetables, love anything that has a lot of phytonutrients in it. That means something that the sun absorbed. It absorbed from the sun, like fruits, right? Anything, plants are growing because they're taking in water and sun. Phytonutrients.
That's cold-blooded, that something can actually just exist and get nutrients
from the sun.
That's amazing.
You put it in your body, your body lights up, your body, and this is the awesome thing. When you are on this program, when you clean your body for that 1 month, and you're putting in, you're reintroducing the things that the body loves, right? You start to feel different. You start to think different. Things start changing. And I always tell my clients, you know, after you do your 1 month, and you're like, maybe you're driving and you pass by this like McDonald's or some barbecue joint and you smelling it and you're like, oh, I think I want some of that. Go ahead and get it. Because
you say go get it.
I say go get it because you need to know, remember the goal is to become your own doctor, right? You need to know what your body is. You need to really know how this stuff works, not just because I'm telling you. You got to know it for yourself.
That's real spill right there.
So when you eat it, you'll feel it. You will break down. You would literally, in fact, right after you eat that food, you would notice that your vibration has slowed down. You just don't feel the same. When you eat, after you eat, you're supposed to feel energy. That's what food is. It's fuel.
It's supposed to be fuel.
Right? You're not supposed to feel sluggish, tired, time to sleep now, you know, you're tired. That's the last thing you should feel. And most of the time, the reason why you feel like that is because after you eat and you feed the parasites, they eat your food. First of all, they get the nutrients first.
They get it first.
Yeah, you get second dibs.
Damn.
Yes. So once they eat that food and they excrete and pass gas in your body, fumes, that's it. The fumes, those fumes go up, and that's what makes you tired. That's why you just want to go to bed.
Is that why people breath be stinking and shit too?
Absolutely.
Ooh.
The BO, the body odor, bad breath, all of these things are derived from decay in your body. And when you have decay, literally decay in your body. Remember, we have 10, 20, 30 years of feces just sitting in the corner.
That shit, y'all.
Literally being full of it,
Let me ask you this. Kind of describe to me what the regimen is or what it is that you do when you meet a client and they fucked up, you know, whatever it is, diabetes, hypertension, they just fucked up. They're like, hey, listen, I don't want to die.
Right.
What do you do? How are you helping these people?
Well, we start once again with cleaning. If there's a pile of dirty clothes, we're not gonna put a bunch of clean clothes on top of it, right? And think that's just gonna make it disappear. You have to first wash. You have to clean out your system, which is that first month regimen. You know, it's restoration. So we start with enemas. So.
Okay, what's an enema?
Yeah, an enema. So an enema is a process of putting in what the body needs through the back end, right?
Through the back end.
Through the back end.
Through the asshole.
That's right.
I don't like this healthy stuff.
Well, most guys always find that to be an issue, but if you had a sock in your drain, there's no amount of Drano you can pour in there that's going to get rid of that sock. You have to manually get it out, right?
That's a fact.
So that's the same thing. We have 42 feet worth of intestinal tract in our body.
I thought you were going to say something else. I thought you was going to say.
Well, I mean, it's 42 feet, right? So it's full of stuff. So when you're trying to clean that out, you need a proper flush. There is no way around this. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. You cannot take in a magical pill.
That's fine.
And it'll just clean you all out. And this process is not what people think it is. And the tube that you use is very small.
Okay.
You won't even feel it. And you barely put in you barely put in this much anyways, because the hole that dispenses the water is... I wouldn't know, because I don't do it.
Oh, you don't do that?
No, you do it yourself.
Oh, okay.
You're given everything you need.
Okay, well, yeah.
You're given everything you need so that you can do it yourself.
So this is to do it at home? You can do this at home?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's for you to do at home. And it's a very easy process. So
how many days do you have to do the enema?
You do it every day.
You do it every day? Okay.
Every day. Every day for the 30 days.
For the 30 days.
You have years of toxicity that we're trying to get rid of.
And is it like instant flush? Like?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Really?
I have...
The eyes got big.
Yeah, absolutely. I have this one client. He's in his 50s.
Okay.
Works out, muscular, big guy, and, you know, he eats well. He's vegan. Right?
Oh, wow.
So he felt like, oh, nothing is going to come out of me. And after he did his first enema, he was like, he's never had a bowel movement with that amount of stuff come out in his entire life.
My goodness.
And so this is due to the idea.
You actually probably lose weight with this stuff.
You automatically lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
Automatically lose weight. Mm-hmm. So because most of the weight you think, when you stand on the scale and you're like, oh, I'm so and so, a lot of that weight isn't even fat.
It's just shit.
It's just feces sitting in your body. So when you start with your first enema, your colon is clogged. You want to declog your colon. Once we declog the colon, which usually takes about almost 2 weeks, mm-hmm. right? Then you start processing up into the smaller intestines, mm-hmm. where a lot of the baby parasites live.
That's where they be chilling at.
Yeah, close to the duodenum. So they can get, the duodenum is the first 10 inches of the small intestine.
Oh, okay. So they're closer to the stomach? Is that what it is?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So that they can get first dibs on the good stuff.
That's crazy to me, man. That is crazy. So, okay, so after the 30 days of flushing, then what do you do? What's next?
Now we need to restore. So remember, you just got rid of so many things. What do you want to do? You want to give your body what it loves. So you're about to put in minerals into your system, tons and tons and tons of minerals that your body actually needs. Our body is made up of 102 minerals. Okay,
yeah, I've heard people say that.
Yes.
I know one of the things that I've heard is the sea moss, I think, has a bunch of minerals in it.
Well, sea moss has been compromised now because it doesn't have the same amount of minerals as it did before because the oceans are polluted.
Damn it, boy, we can't win.
You know, our soils are polluted.
Yeah.
When farmers are spraying all that stuff, they're all covered up themselves, right? But they're spraying something on the foods that they don't want to inhale, but they're spraying it on the food that we're eating.
They look like astronauts.
You know what I'm
When
saying?
they spraying the food.
The soil is compromised, the oceans are compromised, so we have to do more. Not just so in my formula we do add sea moss amongst so many other elements and nutrients to build to get up to that 102 minerals. You know, mm-hmm. more herbs, more roots that help to comprise of the 102 minerals that your body actually needs.
So you restore the 102 minerals, and most of the time I know we're not, especially McDonald's, getting 102.
You're getting nothing.
Exactly, nothing, no minerals at all.
Absolutely nothing.
Zero.
Nothing.
How the fuck are they allowed to sell us this stuff?
Who's allowing them? I mean, the power is with the people.
Yeah.
This is why knowledge is power, and education, the proper education, is important. Because if you know that you're not getting anything that you need from this food and you stop eating it there, and most people stop eating there, then they no longer have anyone to sell to.
Yeah, no profit. Okay, so basically a 30-day flush. Then you revitalize the body with these minerals.
Right. And
what is the response of these people? Are these people like, can you feel, like, is it an actual feeling better?
Absolutely.
Is it a, do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, how do they respond to this treatment?
Better sleep, a lot more energy.
Better sleep too, huh?
Oh yeah, of course. Better sleep, a lot more energy, healing, most importantly. So every day you're either feeding health or you're feeding sickness.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And in just 2 weeks.
Yeah, either getting better or getting worse.
Yeah, in 2 weeks of changing your diet, cleaning out your system, you literally turn off cancer cells. Turn them off, yes, just with 2 weeks. So you start to regenerate your system because all the cells in our body, they have life cycles.
Yeah, they do, even the cancer cells.
Absolutely. So, well...
But they don't shut off, though. That's what it is with a cancer cell. They just keep...
reproduce. They clone themselves.
Yeah.
Right? That's why cancer can spread. So, once again, which is the irony with the allopathic industry of medicine, they just give you stuff to try to get rid of the cancer when... Why don't you just stop eating? Yeah, of course it'll come back. Of course whatever issue you have will come back if you don't deal with the core issue because you're feeding it.
Yeah, they're going to be back in 2 weeks.
Of course, you're feeding it.
With stage
so starve
35 cancer.
Right, starve it. Starve the cancer.
Yeah.
Starve the disease. Give your body what it needs.
Okay. Then, so with these holistic health changes in today's climate especially, like how can that help you have defense? How can that help you have defenses against the COVID-19 and all this other shit that's going on?
Okay, so speaking of COVID-19,